Have you ever really paid attention to the words that come after your I am? I mean, really listened? Most people don't. They move through life saying things like, I am tired, I am not enough, I am always stuck. And reality, it listens, and it obeys, silently, faithfully, unquestionably. But what if I told you that the words you speak after I am aren't just expressions, they're instructions? We've been conditioned to treat I am like a label, a way to explain ourselves, define ourselves, limit ourselves. It's like carrying a name tag that reads, "Hello, I am broken," and we wear it so often it starts to feel true. But here's the truth that no one ever told you. I am is not a description. It's a command, a frequency, a signal that echoes through the quantum field and calls reality into formation. Your I am is like the dial of a radio. You don't get what you want. You get what you tune into. If you say, I am lost, the universe doesn't question you. It just hands you more reasons to feel lost, because in that moment you didn't describe your reality. You declared it. Neville Goddard called I am the original creation code, a divine formula that unlocks the very essence of manifestation. And now, neuroscience backs it up. The words you repeat wire your brain. They carve pathways in your nervous system. They sculpt your perception of life. And over time, your perception becomes your prison or your portal. So if I am holds such incredible power, why do we keep using it to reinforce our pain? Why do we say, I am broken, even when we want to heal? Why do we say, I am not ready, when our soul is screaming for change? Because we've been hypnotized into believing our emotions are the truth, instead of recognizing them as echoes of old programming. We've mistaken the voice of fear for the voice of fact. And that misalignment keeps us trapped in a loop of repetition, not creation. But what if that loop could be interrupted? What if your I am could be rewritten, not from your wounds, but from your essence? In this video, we're going to dive deep into the spiritual science of identity. We'll explore how to shift from survival mode to God state. How to use I am not as a reaction to your past, but as a blueprint for your future. You'll learn why most manifestation techniques fail, why the God state is not a feeling, but a frequency, and how to reprogram your subconscious identity in practical, grounded ways. This is not just about thinking positively. It's about remembering who you really are and commanding reality to remember with you. So if this theme is already resonating with something inside you, don't wait. Subscribe to this channel now. Walk this path with me, but do it now. Don't let this moment of clarity pass unnoticed, because what comes after your I am becomes your life. The hidden programming behind I am. You weren't born saying, I am not enough. You weren't born identifying as tired, broken, unworthy, invisible. Someone taught you that, or life did, quietly, gradually, until you started to believe that the way you were treated was the way you were. Long before you understood the power of language, your subconscious was already absorbing the meanings behind the words you heard and the ones you didn't. A parent who only praised achievement silently encoded, I am only worthy when I succeed. A childhood filled with chaos can program I am unsafe, even in moments of calm. Neglect rewrites, I am forgettable. You see, the most powerful I am statements are the ones you don't even realize you're saying. They hide in your reactions. In how you apologize for existing, in how you hesitate when it's time to receive, in how you sabotage peace the moment it starts to feel real. And here's the real twist. You don't have to speak the words out loud for the universe to respond. Your vibration says it for you. Every moment of doubt, of self-censorship, of shrinking your presence, it all echoes the same thing. I am not allowed to be fully me. But what if the most powerful truth was hiding where you never thought to look? Let me explain. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to logic. It responds to emotional charge. It stores your beliefs in snapshots, moments where the feeling was strong enough to burn into your nervous system. That's why affirmations often fall flat. You can say, "I am powerful," 100 times, but if your body still remembers the moment you were told to stay small, your field will speak louder than your words. And this is where the loop begins. Because when your identity is shaped by unresolved emotion, your declarations become traps. I am a failure. I am always alone. I am not capable. These aren't facts, but the more you repeat them, the more your reality rearranges itself to match. Pause for a moment and ask yourself gently, what is the most painful "I am" you've been carrying without noticing? Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's masked as humility. Sometimes it even sounds wise, but it's still a spell. A vibrational command. Let me give you a practical shift. Start by noticing the "I am" phrases you speak in casual conversation, not the empowered ones, the automatic ones. I'm always tired. I'm bad at this. I'm not good with people. These aren't just phrases, they're confessions your subconscious is trying to normalize, but awareness breaks the spell. Now that we've uncovered how deeply rooted this programming can be, we'll move even deeper into the science of how your words interact with the quantum field, and how every "I am" isn't just heard, it's activated. We'll explore the quantum mechanics of commanding reality, and how your "I am" is not just a belief, it's a vibrational interface with infinite timelines. The quantum mechanics of commanding reality. Everything in the universe, including your identity, is made of frequency. Your thoughts are not just private musings, your emotions are not just background noise, and your words are not just sounds. They are vibrational instructions being broadcast into the field of infinite possibility. You've seen it before. You just didn't know how to read it. Ever notice how people who always say "I am unlucky" seem to attract chaos effortlessly? Or how someone who deeply believes "I am supported" seems to land on their feet no matter what? That's not coincidence. That's coherence. Here's the process. Every time you declare "I am," you are collapsing infinite potential into one chosen reality. In quantum terms, this is known as the observer effect. The idea that the act of observation shapes the outcome. But you're not just observing, you're instructing, you're selecting the timeline your nervous system believes is most true. Let me give you an image. Imagine your life is a simulation, not metaphorically, literally. And "I am" is your internal keyboard. Every word you type tells the simulation how to render the next scene. Type "I am always abandoned," and your simulation shows you proof. Type "I am the embodiment of divine alignment," and the entire system recalibrates to match that script. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to use "I am" like a magic phrase, without changing the emotional frequency behind it. They say, "I am abundant," while vibrating scarcity. They say, "I am love," while fearing rejection. And then they wonder why it doesn't work. The field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your signal. Let's go even deeper. Your heart and brain generate electromagnetic fields. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, those fields become coherent, focused, amplified, powerful. That's when your "I am" becomes magnetic. But if you say one thing and feel another, the signal gets scrambled. The field receives mixed messages. Confusion in, confusion out. Now breathe with me just for a moment. Feel what it's like to say "I am safe" and actually believe it. Not because the world told you so, but because your essence already knows. Feel the steadiness, the warmth in your chest. The quiet confidence, that's coherence, that's command. So the question becomes, what would happen if your words, your emotions, and your energy all spoke the same truth? What reality would you create from that place? Maybe it's time to find out. And if you're feeling that shift, that subtle click of recognition, I invite you to mark this moment. Leave one word in the comments that captures what just moved in you. Maybe it's clarity, maybe it's remembrance, maybe it's power. Whatever it is, write it. Let it land in your field. Because now we'll explore why most manifestation techniques fail. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're doing it from the wrong identity. This part might shake you, but it will also set you free. Why most manifestation techniques fail without this. There's a reason why so many people say they've tried everything to manifest and still feel like nothing changes. Vision boards, affirmations, scripting, visualizations. They light the candle, they speak the desire. But deep down, nothing moves. And then comes the question that hurts the most. What's wrong with me? But the problem isn't your method, it's your starting point. Most people begin their manifestation journey from a fractured identity. They declare abundance while secretly believing they're undeserving. They visualize love while feeling inherently unlovable. They try to command the universe while still whispering, "I am not enough," inside their own mind. Here's what no one tells you. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you believe you are. Wanting is not the same as being. And this is where the vibrational gap begins. Let me give you an example. Saying, "I want peace," is a recognition of lack. It's a statement that you are not yet peace. But I am peace, and when felt with alignment, doesn't chase peace. It radiates it. That small shift changes your frequency, and your frequency changes your access to reality. Joe Dispenza speaks about this with powerful clarity. He calls it coherence, the alignment between thought and emotion. When you think abundance but feel fear, your system is incoherent. The signal is distorted. The universe doesn't ignore you. It just mirrors your inner split. Think of it this way. If your identity is still wired to "I am broken," every desire you send out will bend around that root identity. It doesn't matter how many mantras you repeat. If the core of you is still operating from survival, desire becomes resistance. The more you reach, the more you confirm that you don't have, and the loop continues. Pause now, gently, and ask yourself, am I desiring from my wholeness or from my wounds? There is no shame in recognizing this. In fact, this is the moment it all begins to change, because the only real manifestation technique is identity embodiment. When you stop trying to become and start remembering who you already are beneath the noise, let me give you something practical. Before you write another intention, speak another affirmation, or visualize another outcome, ask yourself, who do I believe I am? That answer, the quiet, honest one, is what you're really manifesting from. Now that we've opened this doorway, we'll go even deeper into what it truly means to step into the God state. Not as a fleeting feeling, but as a living frequency. You'll see why it's not about always being happy or high vibe, but about returning to a stable center that no longer needs proof to feel power. The God state is not a feeling, it's a frequency. Most people think the God state feels like bliss, like walking on clouds, always elevated, always serene, always smiling. But that image, although beautiful, is misleading, because the God state is not an emotional high. It's not excitement. It's not even happiness. It's a frequency, a steady, unshakable inner signal that does not depend on circumstance, validation, or mood. It's not about feeling good all the time. It's about feeling connected, even when things don't look perfect. That's the difference, and that's the liberation. You've been told that alignment means always feeling high vibe. That if you're sad, you're out of sync. That if you feel anger, you've lost your center. But that belief creates addiction, a fear of low emotions. And ironically, that fear drops your frequency faster than the sadness ever could. Here's what the God state actually feels like: neutrality, not numbness, not indifference, but spacious awareness. The ability to witness without collapse, to observe your fear without becoming it, to feel your grief without drowning in it. To know that you are the sky, not the storm. Bruce Lipton teaches that your cellular response is shaped not by your outer environment, but by the perceived signal your cells receive. That means your internal state, your frequency, is what tells your biology whether it's safe to heal, expand, trust. This is not just poetic, it's physiological. Let me give you an example. Think of someone who just received incredible news. A dream came true. They're glowing. But under the surface, their nervous system is bracing for loss. They're afraid it won't last. That fear cancels out the frequency of the moment. They're in joy, but not in the God state. Because the God state doesn't need evidence. It radiates certainty before the result. It's the quiet knowing. I am whole, I am guided, I am connected. Even when the world looks chaotic, even when the mind gets loud, that's real power, that's sovereignty. Pause now and breathe. Not to escape, but to drop into your center. Feel what it would mean to not chase highs, to not run from lows, but to sit right here in a frequency that doesn't need to be explained. That's the beginning of the God state. We'll explore exactly how to reprogram your I am at the subconscious level. You'll learn the 3-step method to install new identity codes in your nervous system, and hear the story of someone who changed her entire physical reality just by changing her I am. How to reprogram your I am at the subconscious level. By now you understand that I am is not just a phrase. It's a vibrational blueprint, a personal algorithm that either repeats your past or programs your future. But the real challenge isn't understanding that intellectually. It's shifting it energetically, viscerally, at the level where your identity actually lives, your nervous system. Because here's the truth, most spiritual teachings skip over. Your system doesn't resist change because it's stubborn. It resists because it was built for survival. Even painful identities feel safe if they're familiar. I am unworthy may hurt, but if it kept you from expecting too much, from risking rejection, from stepping into the unknown, then on a subconscious level, it was serving you. This is why change often feels like fear. Why stepping into a new identity triggers anxiety, procrastination, sabotage. It's not weakness, it's wiring. So how do we rewire? Here's the process. Step 1, symbolic repetition. The subconscious doesn't learn through logic. It learns through symbols, emotion, and repetition. So instead of forcing new affirmations, choose a single identity statement that resonates deeply. Something short, sacred, and precise. For example, I am the embodiment of truth, or I am safe to receive. Speak it daily, not with effort, but with presence. Step 2, embodiment. Say it while moving, while walking, while breathing, while placing your hand on your heart. Anchor it in the body. Let the words echo in the rhythm of your being. Let your cells feel it. This moves the declaration from your mind to your soma, from language to lived experience. Step 3, micro-rituals. Pick small, sacred actions that reflect your new identity. If your I am is peace, create a morning pause of silence. If it's I am powerful, stand tall when you speak. Let every gesture become a vote for your new frequency. Repetition rewires, but embodiment roots it. Let me share a real story. A woman spent years trying to heal from a chronic illness. She followed protocols, changed diets, did energy work. Nothing held. Until one day her mentor asked her, "What is the I am behind your pain?" She realized she had been unconsciously living from "I am broken." That was the identity behind every effort to heal. So she changed it, gently, patiently, to "I am whole now." Not as a wish, but as a truth she chose to inhabit. Within months, her symptoms began to dissolve. Not because she forced healing, but because her system finally believed it was allowed to. Pause now. Not to analyze, but to feel. What I am could begin to unlock a new reality for you if you dared to believe it. Let it rise, whisper it, even if your voice shakes. And if you've come this far in the video, I want to thank you. Your presence here matters. Your energy is felt. So I invite you to take a breath and share with us in the comments. Have you ever carried an I am that wasn't truly yours? Have you ever experienced a shift just by changing how you saw yourself? Tell us. Someone might read your story and recognize their own. And if you feel that this journey is just beginning, join us. Subscribe, become part of this community of remembrance, because there's so much more to explore. And we're just getting started. Let's go deeper. We'll unveil the invisible saboteurs that quietly dilute your I am. Even the most awakened seekers fall into these traps, and learning to see them changes everything. The invisible saboteurs of your God state. Not every interruption to your God state comes from a loud crisis. Most of them are subtle, silent, so familiar that you don't even recognize them as sabotage. But make no mistake, these are the whispers that pull your frequency down when you're not looking. Let's start with one of the most common, spiritual performance. It sounds like this: I am working on myself. I am healing. I am trying. On the surface, these sound empowering, but look closer. Each one reinforces the idea that you're not there yet, that wholeness is somewhere in the future, that your worth is tied to effort, not essence. And here's the paradox. The more you chase alignment as a goal, the more you affirm that you are currently out of alignment. Pause for a moment. Feel that. This isn't about shame. It's about awareness. There's nothing wrong with growth. But growth rooted in self-doubt becomes a performance. A loop, a new identity of, I am always fixing myself. And the universe, ever faithful, mirrors back situations that keep you stuck in that role. Then there's the saboteur disguised as humility. I'm not special. I don't want to take up space. I'm not ready to claim that kind of power. These phrases sound modest, but underneath they often carry a deeper allegiance to smallness, to the safety of invisibility, to the belief that your light must be dimmed in order to be accepted. But what if that's not humility? It's hesitation. What if staying small is just a safer way of saying, I am not allowed to be big? Let me give you a practical lens. Your language is a window into your allegiance. I am trying reveals attachment to effort. I am becoming reveals trust in the process. I am, when declared without hesitation, reveals embodiment. This isn't just theory. Edgar Cayce, one of the most profound mystics of the 20th century, taught that naming is a sacred act. That to declare I am is to activate the divine pattern already coded within you. But when you name yourself with doubt, with distortion, with hesitation, you delay the unfolding of that divine architecture. Now breathe, feel into your day-to-day language, not just what you say to others, but what you whisper inside your own mind. What energy are those phrases reinforcing? What version of you are they feeding? You don't have to purge every sentence, just notice. And when you notice, you reclaim choice. We move now into embodiment, activating the I am field in daily life. You'll learn how constancy trumps intensity and how small rituals can stabilize your God state more powerfully than grand spiritual highs. Activating the I am field daily. It's easy to feel powerful when you're inspired, when the music swells, when the room is quiet, when the meditation ends and you feel aligned for a moment. But transformation doesn't live in the peaks. It lives in the patterns. The quantum field does not respond to intensity, it responds to constancy. It listens for consistency, for the frequency you broadcast when no one is watching, for the identity you return to, not once, but daily. So how do you stabilize the I am field in your real everyday life? Let me give you a process that's simple, but potent. Start with the morning. The first 5 minutes of your day set the tone for your nervous system. Before checking your phone, before thinking about yesterday, go to the mirror, look into your own eyes, not with judgment, but with reverence, and speak your I am into that reflection. Not like a routine, like a transmission. Say it slow, say it like you're meeting yourself for the first time. I am clear, I am love, I am already aligned. Let the words echo not just in your voice, but in your body. Now, connect it to the senses. This is called sensory anchoring. Choose a physical gesture, placing your hand on your chest or gently touching your neck or inhaling deeply while speaking your phrase. That repetition creates a neural association. Over time, your body will remember the frequency faster than your mind. And if you want to take it further, here's a nighttime ritual that rewires at the deepest level. Before you sleep, rewrite your I am for tomorrow. Whisper it softly, not as a goal, but as a remembering. This sends the new identity deep into the subconscious, which processes and stores beliefs most efficiently during sleep. These small rituals are not about perfection, they're about recalibration. They don't take hours, they take intention. They don't require belief at first, just willingness. And over time they change everything, because when you stop visiting your God state only in moments of crisis or ceremony, and start living from it quietly, repeatedly, reverently, you become magnetic. Grounded, guided. So ask yourself now, what I am do I choose to wake up with? What I am do I choose to fall asleep inside? Because that's where reality begins to shift, not in the extreme, but in the steady. You are not describing your life, you are designing it. Every I am you speak is not a label, it's a lever. It tilts the direction of your attention. It bends the architecture of your emotions. It quietly tells the universe what to reinforce and what to release. So now it's time to ask yourself with sacred honesty, am I using my I am to rehearse my past or to remember my future? Because you are not at the mercy of what the world has named you. You are not bound to the identity others once projected onto you. And you are not here to shrink yourself into what feels familiar. You are here to reclaim authorship. You are here to awaken the creative power within those two words, and to speak them not from fear, but from knowing. So let this be your turning point. Let this be the moment you stop declaring what you've been and start embodying who you really are. Because your I am is not waiting for permission. It's waiting for precision. And once spoken with truth, it will move mountains, not outside you, but within. Pause with me. Take one last breath, and let this phrase root itself in your field. I am no longer rehearsing my limitations. I am remembering my original frequency. Let it echo. Let it vibrate. Let it become your new baseline. And if this video resonated with you, if something within you stirred, softened, or awakened, I thank you. Thank you for walking this path with me. Thank you for holding space for your own transformation. Thank you for staying until this final breath, because it means you're ready. Ready to live, speak, walk, and love from your God state. Sua energia é uma linguagem, e o universo escuta. Now, I invite you to share in the comments if this message touched something inside you. Let us know what shifted. Let us know what you're reclaiming. Let us know what you're ready to speak into being. And if you felt the call, don't walk this journey alone. Subscribe to this channel. Join the community, because what we explore here is only the beginning. And the next video waiting for you will take this remembrance even deeper. Your I Am is listening. Speak wisely. Walk boldly. And never forget, you were never lost. You were just waiting to remember.